All right, guys. So I thought I'd chime in real quick and have another somewhat 2020 update now that I've been working for nearly a week and seeing how things are going there and all that good stuff. So turns out one of the guys I'm working with happens to be somebody that I've got history with. We've actually done business before, and even more importantly than that, we have we have mutual friends. You've heard me mention Blake a bunch of times. Well, this guy's uncle, who I have somewhat of like a tiny little bit of a beef. It's not beef on my side. It's more like bad feelings held on his side. But I'd done business with his uncle a long time ago. We had a little bit of somewhat of a falling out because he just kept flaking on some deals and shit. So he's actually close friends with Blake, and he's the nephew of that guy. But like I said, we've done business before. Anyway, so I started working. Of course, we start talking Honda. And he's like, hey, man, I'd like to do a B-Series build. Like, what do you think? And I'm like, well, I happen to have, some shit laying around. He's like, well, how much you want for it? And I start looking at the bigger picture. I'm like, I want a fucking race buddy. So I will donate my shit and my labor, and you just buy the missing pieces, right? So I have a B20 block, and I have the crank, and I also happen to have a B16 head that's incomplete. I'm missing cam caps, but yeah, just hopped on Facebook and found somebody that has them for 80. Now 80, I guess 80 is kind of a fair price, but at the same time, it's more than I'd really like to pay, considering the fact that you can find a B16 head for like $350. But then, yeah, it's whatever. Also, immediately, people love to chime in on, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that to run these fucking things. I've talked about this a bunch of times. It's like ad nauseum. I've switched main caps and I've had no problems. I'm not worried about switching cam caps over. Yes, the technical, most sensible way to do it is to line hone, not bore, because you're taking away material. You're honing the tunnel so that way everything matches up uniformly, all right? But you will know if you're gonna have a problem already or not, because it's not gonna want to move if the hone is or if the tunnel is off by a bad amount. You're gonna have resistance. I know from experience, right? I've sent fucking cranks with the entire rotating assembly balanced off of a caps that have been swapped off another engine, and zero issues. And then I also had another engine block with caps that I tried to change over, and it didn't work. Wouldn't rotate the crank. These are the easy ways to figure out whether your shit's gonna work like that or not without machine work. And at the end of the day, if I have to be line honed, it doesn't matter. But I fucking absolutely aggravated and I hate the shit out of it when people love to jump in and try to teach me things. Like, it's sometimes, I guess, a lot of times I'm clear, hey, I don't know this very well, so chime in. But a lot of times if I'm not saying that, which is most of the time, just fucking keep your goddamn opinion to yourself, man. I don't need to hear that shit. Anyway, mini rant over. So, I bought this B-Series head from Sam at the beginning of the year, and because it's so incomplete, I had zero plans to use it anytime soon. It needs a new valve train. It doesn't have valves, springs, retainers, all that shit, and it needs the cam caps, right? So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that anytime soon, because I'm not in favor of building heads. It's a lot of money. It takes more money to build the fucking head than it does to build the block. Well, this guy wants to build the head, so I'm like, well, I have a head that needs a valve train and those caps. So we can see about doing that. And again, I'm donating. So this from head to block is going to be free. I'm going to give him the block, the crank, and the head, and he's going to get the valve train, the pistons, and rods. Now, I was going to offer up some stock rods and we do that, but he wants force. Like, he wants to go all out. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm like, well, if there's one thing you could do me a solid on, is that you buy the Scat Rods piston, Nip and Racing piston combo, because that, the sponsor there. I'd like to have... if everything goes according to plan, we'll have a little bit of a race team. I'll have number 1 and number 2, and now I just got to convince Blake to stop fucking around, stop selling cars that I built for him, and keep a race car. And then I have Blake as a third guy. As a matter of fact, I got to talk to him about this. Yeah, so it could be me, Jordan, and Blake, and that'd be a 3-man hit team. And I want to do all motor as well. So of course I'm gonna have my turbo cars, but all motor is definitely where I want to focus on racing. And I'm going to have one of my Ks. It's either going to be the Big Bore K20 or the VTEC Killer, or maybe even both. But I definitely want to do that and see if we can get the Blake into something also. And then I guess there's one other person that's got potential. That's Shane. If you're watching, that's you. But like I said to you before, man, I need consistency. I need to be able to know that when I reach out to you, I can get an answer back, within a timely manner, and that you're not gonna flake out on me if I need you for something, or anything along those lines. So there's that. So that's one thing I said when I was coming back down that I wanted to do was make a racing team. So this is potentially, it's unfolding, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on this for this year. Also, I have 4 weeks fucking paid vacation off the rip. So a lot of long weekends. I doubt I'm never going to take more than a week at a time, and I'll have 1 week with my family at least for the year. Holidays don't really mean too much to me besides Christmas, obviously, and I guess Honda Day, if they have 2 of them, I'll go to both of them this year. World Cup Finals, definitely going to happen. And Tulsa is going to happen. And maybe even Vegas. So now, because especially now that, with the whole mic and shit. So DIY mic, that's a whole nother incentive to go out there. That's a shop I could go visit. So I don't have to have any kind of special racing event to go out there. I could go out there just to pop in and say what's up to those guys. And see their shit up close. That'd be cool. And then, of course, Chuck, if you're watching, you go see you too. So, yeah, that's just a real quick thing I wanted to talk about. I got a lot of vacation time. The money's there. Me and my wife together now, we're in like the $90,000 gross income for the household. And while we are going to be probably, expending more money on rent because we definitely need a bigger place this time, that's, but I don't expect that we're going to be paying more than $1,800. And that's only a $500 increase over our current rent. Actually, like $450. So, yeah, we're expecting a bigger place. And even though it's going to be a little bit more money, like the money we've had saved in the bank throughout the year up until we lose in the job, has been fine. Like I said, $4,000. So I imagine with a $6,000 net income to the household, we'll be fine. So yeah, a lot of great things coming soon. Now that I've located some guy with cam caps, and I still need to buy bolts, but I might talk to dude, see if he'll throw in some bolts. Cause I'm assuming that he's pulling these cam caps off of a trash head, and then I want to talk to Jordan today when I get back to work this afternoon, and we're gonna see about starting this. I'm gonna pull the trigger, at least buy the bearings, so that way I can put the crank in the block, and then get the pistons and rods, and then go get the valve train. So I want to hopefully get this underway soon. I am back to working on weekends only, guys. I am a lot more out of shape than I realized. Work has been kicking my ass, so I've been going to sleep. I haven't been going to the gym yet because like I said, I'm out of shape, trying to break my body back. I thought I was doing enough work around the house to keep me busy, but I guess building engines in one spot isn't enough. So I'm trying to give myself this week or so to get back into it. My weight's still on point, so I'm getting myself back into used to being active before going to the gym again. And then I'm trying to adjust myself that after I take my kids to the school bus, instead of trying to go back to sleep, just stay awake. So I've been awake since 7 o'clock this morning. And the whole reason me telling you guys this is I'm getting my ass kicked here physically. So I'm not touching anything. Like the VTEC Killer engine block is still on the rack back there. It just needs the valve adjusted, and then I can take it off and get the next block up there. But I simple 20 minutes worth of work, and I still haven't done it yet. I was just chilling, relaxing. I ran this morning. I watched some Humble Performance stuff, and I'm running out of time. I need to make lunch before I get out of here. So, yeah, Super B coming soon. Like this is gonna be we're aiming for 250 horsepower on this long block here. So cams and valve train, pistons, rods. This hopefully is gonna be a nasty motherfucker, and then we'll see how much we can make on an all motor, and then there's always the possibility of throwing a bottle on it later. But I really want 2020 to be really big in the racing this time. And this isn't even for views. This is just because it's time. Like I need to start standing out. Like I want to start getting out there into the scene more. And it's one thing to build engines and on the sideline. It's a whole other thing to put it down. And I don't even care if I'm the one that's being fast. Like if I can, even if I get somebody else on my team that's faster than me, that's fine by me. As long as it's my work out there putting down the work or putting down the effort here. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and peace.